Hello my friends, it is Spen with Spill the Goods. I'm going to be sharing with you this new Ikarao Shell S3. Now this thing is so much smaller but also packs that classic Ikarao punch. If you're looking at a simple karaoke machine, this may be the right option for you, so stick around and we'll get into all the details and I'll show you exactly what its capabilities are and maybe in some cases its weaknesses. Let's talk about it. Alright, if you Googled Ikarao Shell S3 review, you are in the right spot. You know what's really fun about this new Shell S3 is it's really small. I think you probably have noticed that by now. It's impressive that they've been able to pack all of these features into a smaller karaoke machine device like this. I thought it'd be a good idea to get some of these Ikarao machines that I have accumulated over time and give you a quick size comparison. If you're anything like me, it's helpful to be able to see them all in one space. You can see this Shell S3 is definitely the smallest of the bunch. This right here is the Shell S1. If I go ahead and open each one of these, the screen size is significantly bigger on your Shell S1 versus the Shell S3. And then this right here on the far left is the Break X2. The Break X2 is the only Ikarao device that has this kind of full rotating screen. But again, screen size is significantly bigger. I think just looking at them from above, you'll see how small the Shell S3 is. Now that comes with some significant benefits, right? The fact that it has this built-in handle, easy to carry, very, very lightweight. It's not going to take up a ton of space in your car if you're taking it somewhere, and it still packs a really good audio punch. I'll show that a little bit later in the video. While I have all of these up here, let me go ahead and do a price comparison for you between these three. I'll start with the most expensive. This right here is the Break X2. It has a current list price of $469.99. The Shell S1 has a current list price of $349.99. And then you have your Shell S3, which is $299.99. So it's the least expensive of the pack, and you can still see it has all of the main features that these ones have. Built-in display, wonderful. I love a built-in display. That means you don't have to have an iPad or an iPhone or something else connected to the device in order to karaoke. The other thing that all three of these have is built-in microphones. Makes it super simple, makes it super portable. And then the last thing I'll mention is each one of these does a great job as a standalone speaker. The audio quality is really rich, it's full, it doesn't sound tinny. I really like the way that Ikarao machines sound. Okay, hopefully that size comparison and feature comparison was helpful. One thing I did want to talk about before I move on from comparisons is something I noticed. On each of these machines, you'll see that it has these little metal touch points. This just allows the microphones to begin to charge automatically inside of the machine. The Break X2 has the same thing. On the bottom of this, as you push it in, it starts charging the microphone. The one thing I did notice with this Shell S3 is these do not have any kind of charging touch point inside of the device. What you actually have to do is you use this USB-C charging port to charge up the microphone. It doesn't charge inside of the machine. With these two devices, you're able to just plug in one device or charge one device and know that all three, meaning the device itself and the two microphones, are going to be fully charged and ready to use. With this device, you do have to plug in three different things. You're plugging in the device itself and the two built-in microphones. That's just something to be aware of. It's not a huge downside, but it's significant enough to know that, hey, I'm gonna have to plug in three different things instead of just one. All right, let's get these two off the table now and spend the rest of our time talking about the Shell S3. The next thing I want to do here is just kind of explore some of the ports on the machine so you can see what they are. You have two auxiliary ports, a charging port, and that looks like it's a USB-C port, and then you have a USB port here as well. There is no HDMI. I will note that. The bigger Ikarao machines do have an HDMI port, which is nice. The outside of the Shell S3 is really pretty simple. It's got a power button here, you've got a Bluetooth button here as well, and then a volume button on the outside. This This is just classic Ikarao design. This seems so familiar. I don't know, I love these knobs. This is where these machines get really cool. I love that it has this built-in display, a lot smaller in terms of form factor. I'd almost say that this is like 2 iPhones next to each other or something like that, so it's not a huge screen. Let's turn this on. I charged everything up. Sounds pretty good. I'm gonna play some royalty-free jams out of this. I have really high hopes. I know with Ikarao in the past, I've always been impressed with the way that their audio sounds. I expect nothing less. First thing I want to do is just, run through your menu items here. The menu is really simple on these machines. I love that it shows the battery life that you have in the upper right-hand corner. And then you have built-in applications. You have YouTube, you've got a music library, local media. I'm gonna hit more apps. Looks like you've got the user manual, file management. You'll see Bluetooth connectivity right here. If I push that button, it's going to start to try pairing to a device. You can connect to the Wi-Fi, lighting mode. You can choose romantic, dynamic, bright. You can turn up and down the volume from here, but you can also just roll the knob and turn up and down the volume, and trust me, you want to roll the knob. Then you can go to settings, detect new versions, so you can do updates, change your display brightness as well as your sleep time. So that's the display. I will say I've always been a huge fan of Ikarao's software and touchscreens. They're very responsive to the touch, so it's not like a pain to use. These ones clearly have good technology inside of them. It makes it easy to be able to touch around and not have to just keep poking the screen trying to get it to do something. I'm gonna pull out the microphone now and just power one of these on. So there is a power button here, looks like volume up and down, and then this round button, actually if you push it once it will pause, if you push it twice it'll skip. It's got controls without having to come up to the device, but let's power this on.
All right.
That's loud.
That is really, really loud.
Some of the things I like to pay attention to is if there's a delay between my voice and when it actually comes out of the speaker. I'm not noticing any delay. It seems like it's, very, very responsive. One of the things I also test is this right here, right? Notice how it sounds good right here. If there's any other angle, do you see how it doesn't catch my voice anymore? That's kind of all microphones really, but some microphones do a good job of just capturing your voice even if it's right here. But notice I have to point it straight at my mouth. I mean, that's something to be aware of. Again, you can turn the volume down from here. So I've turned it all the way down. I can also turn it back up from here.
That sound is really good.
Let's go ahead and cycle through some of the vocal options. I'm gonna hit karaoke.
So karaoke sounds like this. A little bit of a reverb to it.
And then you got
super. Wow. All right, so you have popular. I wanna be popular. Profession just sounds like this. Kind of a PA system vibe. Cartoon sounds like a chipmunk.
Monster sounds like a monster. Custom, you can just change your reverb, your treble, and your bass all on your own. Then when you're done with the microphone, you can just push the power button, turns it off, and then you can set it back inside of the machine. All right, what music are we gonna choose here? We gotta choose some royalty-free tunes. Gotta be royalty-free. If they're not, Spanny in trouble. We're gonna go. This speaker is nuts. I have it turned up halfway, dude. Oh, I need to to exercise more. What is my analysis of this thing? Like, what do I even say? Here's the deal. If your priority is a small, super portable device, easy to set up, easy to use, like super user friendly, this might be the guy. All right, my friends, that is everything I have to share with you about the Shell S3. If you have any questions that you'd like me to dive deeper into, leave those in the comments below. I'm very good at responding to those and love to engage with you when I can. This particular Ikarao, along with other karaoke machines that are on my favorites list, are linked in the description of this video. Go take a peek at them if you're interested. Lastly, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. We're going to continue to crank out incredible content that hopefully answers the questions that you have before you make a purchase. Thanks so much for watching. My name's Spenny. This channel is Spill the Goods. We'll talk to you soon.